So how to have discipline in your life, how to become a disciplined man. So I'll explain how I've built discipline and how I become disciplined in my life. Then I'll take you guys through how I help my clients on my confidence coaching programs to have discipline, build discipline. I'm also going to explain why discipline is so important for confidence, self-esteem, mental health, accountability, to live a better life, etc. Part of me, guys, as well, I just come from the gym. I've drunk a lot of coffee and I've been fasting. I've not had any food, so I feel in a really good mood. But it's hard to breathe sometimes when you've had walking upstairs, training. I've just come from the gym, so I've just got to get my breath so I can do this video. Anyway, it's good to breathe because breathing means that we're still alive. So I think I'm going to teach you the way I do it and not the way that's commonly known, even though there's nothing wrong with that, because I want to teach my version. So for me, I've got a different take on discipline, probably what a lot of other people have, which is great. It's good to have your own take. My take on discipline is about excitement. It's about getting excited to be disciplined. It's actually, being happy and passionate, rather than going, I hate discipline. Discipline is going to make me suffer. Discipline is going to be miserable. It's going to make my life hell. Look, for some people that really works, and that's brilliant. But that doesn't work for me, and I find most of my clients it doesn't work for them. It will probably just make them angry. It will just make them feel judged. It will make them feel disrespected, and it'll make them feel like someone is forcing them to do something that they don't really want to do. But I think when you've got the psychology that, okay, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be challenging, but it's going to be so rewarding, it already creates an excitement. So let's start off with thinking about something that you would enjoy doing. And I'll give you an example of something that I love, right? I love fitness, I love working out. I fell in love with training when I was young. My dad was the first person. Can you stop tweeting now? I'm trying to make this YouTube video. Now I love you guys, you birds. I know I'm on your territory, but come on, I'm trying to make a video. I'm trying to inspire a few people. Please, do you mind? It's these birds again. Now I love them. So when I was young, the first person I can remember was my dad. My dad actually encouraged me to do press-ups, sit-ups, bicep curls, some shadow boxing, messing around, pads, things like that. And when I first encountered it, I hated it. I didn't like it because I found it difficult and stressful. But after I grew to start loving it. So my dad was the first person. The second person was Bruce Lee. Big fan of Bruce Lee. Most of us were growing up. Loved his physique, his intensity, the movies, growing up. And I started to read Bruce Lee's books. I watched all of his films and I found out he was a fitness fanatic. And I had some conversations with my dad about, how he trained, what was good, what we thought, was a negative, was a positive, etc. So my whole enthusiasm as a young boy around training and discipline come from my dad, Bruce Lee, and then later on Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, most of the 80s heroes, and then later on bodybuilding, Lee Haney, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. So it was a collection of great men. So when I started to see the progress, my whole relationship with discipline in the area of physical fitness changed. And then obviously I went down the gym in my 20s with a good friend of mine. We trained together. Then I met another friend down the gym, and it also gave me more confidence in myself, and it got me over a lot of those fears of worrying about other men bullying me, because I obviously got bullied growing up. For those of you that don't know, most of us did. So it gave me a whole foundation. It improved my life, and it changed my perception of a word that used to intimidate me and make me think, I don't want to do things that I don't want to do. So I changed my whole psychology around discipline, and I found discipline through doing things that are difficult, and it does require a level of suffering and sacrifice and commitment, but it's so rewarding. I don't really see it as something that I hate and that I don't want to do. So if you can find something that you enjoy doing that's difficult, it does require discipline, you're still going to get the same effects of discipline, if that makes sense. So exercising and training is something that I love, and something that I encourage all my clients to do on paid programs and on all these free platforms. So that's a way of doing it. So let me know in the box below, have a think about what is it that you would love to do. Maybe you're not doing it because of fear, because of the fear of what other people will think, or you're just afraid of getting started and committing. That's a general fear. So basically, if you listen, we're finding ways to bypass our excuses. We're finding ways to bypass our fears, because we all have them. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because George St. Pierre, one of the best ultimate fighters of all time, he admitted how terrified he was before he went in and fought in the UFC. Mike Tyson has admitted it. Many fighters, and I've admitted to you guys how frightened I've been in so many situations in my life before I went and did it, but I had the courage to go and do it and overcome the fear, or to do it anyway. And that's the best thing that you can do. So less of the shaming, guys, for being afraid. If you're honest, and that takes a level of discipline. I'd say that's a discipline with communication. Most guys allow themselves to not be disciplined in their communication because they fear what the next person's thinking. And that's immaturity, and that just holds you back. But I understand, I was like that when I was younger. I'm gonna make a point of saying as well, it's not always about age. Because you've got guys that are younger than me and they're so disciplined. So we can't always use age as an excuse. Sometimes it is relevant. So it doesn't mean because you're 20 or you're 25 that you're not disciplined. And it also doesn't mean because you're 40 and 50 or 60 that you're disciplined or you're not. It depends on your character. It depends on your levels of commitment. So find something. So let me give you another example. When we was in the first lockdown, I wasn't working. And I wanted to learn how to shoot higher quality videos, because most of you know, for those of you who don't, I always paid other people to do it, which was great. But I thought, I want to learn this. I want to be able to rely on myself. And at the start, I was intimidated because it's all new to me. Lighting, audio, different lenses, cameras setting up. This is all new. I was always the person in front of the camera teaching, having a professional cameraman film me. But because I changed my psychology, like I said earlier, because I got excited about learning something new and building discipline in the area of learning how to shoot higher quality videos, I spent 1 year, I think it was the first lockdown, because I didn't, obviously I had things to do, but I wasn't working. Most of us weren't, right? For those of us that were, that's brilliant. I wasn't. So once I changed my psychology, I didn't hate it, I absolutely loved it, and I appreciated all the free value. I went online and I learned from the professionals, and it's something that I've built discipline towards doing. And a lot of you notice the higher quality of my videos, because there were times where the quality was really poor, and that's a lack of discipline. So can you see the principle behind it? So I changed my psychology with going to the gym because I love the gym. It enables me to get better results and to become disciplined in that area. Then I go into other areas, like making YouTube videos, and I apply this in other areas. When I first used to do events, guys, I've always loved helping people. But of course, you're human. There's a part of me that didn't like it because I was frightened of it. And it requires a lot of courage, a lot of organising, a lot of planning, and a lot of people skills and dealing with people. And that didn't come natural to me, naturally being an introvert, shy, not really liking confrontation in big groups to begin with. I changed my psychology. And I got excited by saying, this isn't about me. It's not about my selfish needs. This is about me helping other people, serving, helping them. And that just changed my whole feelings around it. And then of course it's so rewarding, and I always enjoy it. And I enjoy the challenge of if I do feel fear or discomfort. And that's kind of what I'm there to outline and teach other men, how to be better in life, how to manage fear better, how to be more disciplined. So the whole changing the way that you view things really helps you. And as I said, when I was young, my dad always used to stress to me, always did, the importance of discipline in his own way, which was respect your mum, wash the dishes, we cook for you, we work hard, which my mum and dad did. The least you can do is tidy your room. He tried to install that in me, and he did a good job. So it's, finding your own way of discipline, and obviously everyone's got their own ways. I absolutely love David Goggins' whole attitude on discipline. David Goggins has personally helped me, and he might have a different take to what I've got. That's brilliant. It's about finding what works for you, right? But this works for me, and I find it works for most of my clients, because initially, when I say the word discipline, it's like, oh, I'm scared. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to enjoy it. It's going to make me suffer. Although it could do. There's some truth in it. But with a change of psychology, with a change of attitude, though, that whole emotional experience is completely different. So this is how you build discipline. I would also add, this is how you enjoy being disciplined. This is how you approach things in your life that initially might seem difficult, they might seem intimidating, but you break them down by changing the way that you think about it, and then obviously you take the action. Another area, diet. I hated diet a couple of years ago. I hated everything to do with diet because dieting and eating healthy was something that didn't come natural to me growing up. Fast food, chocolate, sugar, that's me. That was most of us. But a friend of mine, a good friend of mine and a mentor, helped me to change my whole psychology on my approach to dieting. He got me excitement. Now I love it. Now it's become like, it's like a treat to me. I love it. I still have a little bit of unhealthy food now and then, but you guys see me cooking my salmon, my veg, my chicken, fruits, you know, fasting, just living eating healthier. Same approach that I've used with the gym, with YouTube, with events, with even business, and even helping other people. So anybody can do this, anyone who can do it. If you guys are asking me, how do we do this? What do we need? You have to have the want. So I can't force you. That's why I say when I work with paid clients, I can only accept people on my paid programs that are committed. If they're not committed, I can't help them. Doesn't matter how good I am at teaching, how much experience, because you can't force people. They've got to want to do it. So you need the want. If you want to do it, you're going to do it, and then you're going to change the way that you view it. And the more you do it, the more progress you make, the more you change your relationship with discipline from hating it, dreading it, not wanting to do it, which is sometimes the same description as fearing it. So this is all about, I've come to the same conclusion that George St. Pierre has come to. I would say that Mike Tyson, David Goggins, even though it's different areas, we're in different fields. And the conclusion is, and it's not just a theory, it's in reality practicing it, is you're changing your relationship with fear. You're turning fear into excitement. You're turning fear into passion. So we're not denying fear. I'm not saying to you guys, I'm not lying to you and saying that, oh, I'm not afraid of making YouTube videos at times. I'm not afraid of my diet. I'm not afraid of going to the gym. I'm not afraid of inspiring people. I'm saying I am afraid. I'm human, of course. I have fears in these areas. You don't stop being human, but I'm excited. I've changed my relationship, and that's the difference between me living a completely different life to what I lived 15 or 20 years ago, and that's the difference to me now being 30 pounds lighter. And that's the difference between me eating healthy most days as opposed to what I was doing a couple of years ago, which was eating takeaways every single day and wasting a lot of money on food that is not good for my health. So that's the discipline. That's also the discipline, the old me who wouldn't do YouTube videos, and I couldn't go and do public speaking, and I couldn't help other people, other men with their confidence, because I didn't have the discipline and I couldn't control fear. And I had a terrible relationship with fear, and I had a terrible relationship with myself. So it's changing your relationship with fear, also known as discipline, and turning it into excitement. And it's the honest dialogue that really helps. One of my clients, I hope this is helpful to you guys, because I sometimes ask for feedback. I ask, what is the most helpful thing in my coaching? One of my clients said, the honest conversation. It's the honesty. It's the fact that I can be honest with you and you can be honest with me about fear, about goal setting, about social anxiety, about being a better person, and then working on it. It seems to have a transformative effect, and of course it does, because that's one of the biggest fears that men have, is honest communication. Some guys find it more easier getting in a boxing ring and fighting than they do having an honest dialogue. I used to be one of those guys, and I get it, and I've coached hundreds of men from all different parts of the world for almost 11 years, and I know from learning. But obviously many men have got really good at it, and as I said, that's why personally I really admired George St. Pierre. I really appreciated his honesty, because it takes a lot it's not easy to do that, especially when you're successful and you don't need to be honest, because people wouldn't assume that you have fears, that you have anxieties. So I'm really trying to help you guys to stop feeling ashamed of feeling something that everybody feels, men and women, but get you to get better at dealing with it and channeling it into a positive way in your life. So discipline is all about changing your relationship with the way that you approach things, diet, training. Same with social anxiety. Instead of saying, I don't want to be nervous around people, it intimidates me, I don't want to be awkward, it's saying, obviously no one really wants that, but get excited about that happening and learning to control your emotions more and progressing. You're not going to be like that all your life, especially if you keep working on it. So discipline, I guess you can hear, it's your whole approach to life, how you think, and it's the strength to actually do it. Because I thought this the other day, anyone can go on Google and search up what's the meaning of discipline, right? But fine, and they can read it, and then they can repeat it and say to another person, this is what the dictionary definition of discipline means. But if that person isn't actually applying discipline in their life, then it's not really being honest, is it? It's not being accountable, right? So I'm not saying you can't read up on it, but you're not going to get results, are you? That would be the equivalent of someone saying, you know, this is a good diet and this is how you lose weight, but they're grossly overweight and they're trying to tell the next person. No one's going to respect that, because you're not doing it, you're not living it. So make sure that you apply it in your life so you can understand it by actually living discipline in your life and being a disciplined person. Now, of course, I know it's not easy for everyone. There's nothing wrong with someone saying, look, at the moment, I'm not disciplined. I don't have much discipline in my life and I'm really frightened and I'm really scared, but I'm really trying. I totally respect that. That's fine, right? Not everyone gets things straight away, and I don't always learn things straight away. I'm trying to encourage you guys to have some humility and be honest, so you're not going to lie to other people, you're not going to lie to yourself. I think people will really respect that. I honestly think they will. I can respect someone who says, at the moment, I don't have the courage to do this or that or have discipline, but I really want to, so I'm just reading up on it, just as a way of, you know, gearing myself up and trying to take that next step. But you're not going to respect someone who lies and just reads stuff and tries to encourage other people when they're not doing it, right? So we need to set an example, and everyone can do that at their own pace. So hopefully today, I'm confident I at least changed the way that you might think about discipline, or even the way that you feel. And ultimately the goal on all of these videos is to educate, motivate and inspire anybody that watches my videos to actually physically face their fears in reality. That's the goal of these videos, and also to make people feel better about their struggles and their anxieties, and to make them realize that they're not on their own. I've been through so many struggles, as a lot of you have known. It's not just because I've built success now or there's confidence here. It has been really hard at times, but if you change your relationship with hard and challenge and struggle, it can be completely positive. So that's how I've done it, guys, right? That might not work for everyone, that's fine, but if it just works for 100 people, I'm happy. But it certainly worked for my clients in all areas of their life. They are more disciplined with everything. Now, just to give you some other examples, I'm going to carry this on in another video because we've been running long. There's different areas of discipline, right? Some people are very disciplined with their finances. That's brilliant. Some people are not very disciplined with their eating habits. So none of us are perfect in every single area. I'm not. But that's not an excuse to go, well, just going to give up then. Well, work on it. So there are other areas right now where I'm working on being more disciplined, so I can obviously be better at my job, better at coaching and setting a good example. But on another level of discipline, I need to stop talking now, the coffee's kicking in. If you say you're going to do something for someone, do it. Because if you say to your friend tomorrow, I'm going to help you move house, but then tomorrow comes and you make excuses, that's a lack of integrity, that's a lack of discipline. And it's not really nice to lie to people and let them down. Obviously there's times where sometimes things come up, but generally that's an example of discipline with your character. But every area of life where you get disciplined in will affect the next area. So if you get disciplined with your training, your socializing and your dieting, it will be a lot easier to transfer that onto your finances, and then it will also be easier to transfer that onto keeping your word and being a better person. So hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I really loved making it. Thanks for the encouragement and the support that you guys give me to continue. All right, I'll see you next video. Like, share, subscribe, and if you'd like to book a confidence coaching call to help you, to give you mental and emotional support and encouragement, and someone to communicate with who understands and is good at my job, well, most days I am, then reach out and we can book a session. I can do it online. Online's great over Zoom. We can also do it in person. You can meet me, we can sit down over coffee, and I can help you in most areas of your life where you're not disciplined. but areas where you would like to become more disciplined. And that also includes with socializing, social anxiety. It takes discipline to socialize when you're nervous and you're shy, and I will go into that in the next video. All right, let me know in the box below, guys, if you've enjoyed this, if this helped you, and always share your success. If you've built any discipline in your life, let me know in the box below. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great day.